Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show today. Today, we are going to be talking about online lending. We're really going to be talking about some of the easiest ways to get funding and get money for your business. And we're going to be taking a look at a lot of the lenders that are out there online that can help you and comparing them. You know, what we find is that a lot of people out there can qualify to get capital for their business. Just when you go online, there's no way to know the difference between these lenders, the kind of programs they offer, but most importantly, there's no way to know which ones you may qualify for and which ones you can't by looking at their websites. So today, we're going to take a lot of that guesswork out of that. For those that don't know me, my name is Ty Crandall. I'm actually the CEO here at Credit Suite. And what we do at Credit Suite, we help businesses get capital. So we help you become fundable. We help you build business credit, and we help you access all different kinds of loans and credit lines. So we work with over 1,000 lenders, understand the complexity of this space, and hopefully today we'll be able to make clear for you some of the options that you have that could work to get money for your business. If you're interested in getting money for your business, feel free to go to creditsuite.com/get-funding. We have a really quick link there where you're able to get approved, again, for almost every legitimate lending program that's out there and over 1,000 lenders. So in the last few years, a lot of lenders are emerging online, okay? And they're often excellent choices for convenience, decision, and funding speed in industries where you can't get money elsewhere. Look, the 2008 mortgage crisis helped us a lot in the business funding space because what happened was that the big banks pulled back. Right, Dodd-Frank came and all these other requirements came in, and we started to see that banks pulled back on what they were lending. Then what happened was all these alternative lenders started pouring into the lending space, and it's made it easier than ever for us to get money. They're using artificial intelligence to get our documentation. They're doing loans in 24, 48, 72 hours where it used to take months, 2 months to get done. They're helping people with bad credit. They're helping people in all these high-risk industries as well. So again, what we're seeing now is that it's easier than ever to get funding if you can distinguish between these lenders. And that's really the question. Which one of these lenders works better for you based on your actual circumstances? So let's take a look at Kabbage, one of my personal faves. So Kabbage lends $500 up to $250,000. Really easy access to money with them. Again, one of the things that they're really looking for is what kind of revenue that you have. They will take account on credit score as well. So okay, they have a non-traditional approach, which puts less weight on credit score and more to weight on revenue. So again, a lot of these kind of revenue-based lenders, and I always explain it this way, you need cash flow, credit, or collateral to get one of these types of financing. This is a cash flow lender. They're based on cash flow. They're based on you managing your bank account responsibly. Revenues going into your bank account increasing month after month. You have more money going in the bank account than going out. You don't have non-sufficient funds. You're not overdrawing the account. They're really looking at how you actually manage your revenue. Okay, so they want to see 1 year time in business, very common with revenue lenders. They want to see $50,000 annual. That's about $4,200 a month revenue. This is a really big deal. A lot of these lenders want to see $10,000 a month in revenue. Being the fact that Kabbage will go as low as $4,200 makes it easier for people that don't have that $10,000 to be able to get approved. You can go to Kabbage.com. Kabbage, I find, one of the fastest, easiest ways to get money if you're managing your bank account responsibly for the business and if you have that consistent revenue. BlueVine, I love BlueVine for their actual for their credit lines. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So they offer invoice factoring and lines of credit. They can process your loan as a little 24 hours, $5,000, $100,000 with a credit line is what you're able to obtain. Higher if you're now able to get a $150,000 credit line with them. And with invoice factoring, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can get even more. So lines of credit aren't available in all states, although they are working on that. You've got to have 6 months time in business. You've got to have $100,000 in annual revenue. You've got to have a 600 FICO score. I love BlueVine. They do two main types of financing. They do what's called account receivable financing. This is also called invoice factoring. What this is people owe you money on terms. So let's say example at Credit Suite here, people enroll to build business credit with us, and we have them pay payments over 7 months. Well, that's them enrolling and paying on terms. That's account receivable. Somebody owes us money. That's paying their payments through payment terms instead of all in one shot, in one lump sum. So I can take those payments and use that as collateral to get financing. That's invoice factoring. So if you're accepting payments from your customers, BlueVine can help you. They can go as much as now 90% financing against the account receivables that you have. If you're not letting your customers pay you on terms, you should start because that's a really big deal to make it easier to get this kind of financing, also SBA loans, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing I love about BlueVine is they have a really good, easy to qualify for credit line that you can get up to $150,000 with. And again, they'll do it with as little as 6 months time in business, $100,000 in annual revenue, and as little as a 600 FICO score. So this is one of the easiest to qualify for credit lines that you're going to find out there. So if you've got the best online lender for low FICO scores, you should look at Credibly. Credibly is a direct lender that specializes in unsecured business loans. Okay, you could do the entire process online. It can take as little as 1 to 2 days, and you can get funding for just about everything that you need with daily or weekly repayment. So again, we're talking about a program that's mostly based on revenue. When we see these kind of revenue financing loans, one of the things you should know about is a lot of the times they're getting paid back by daily withdrawal from your bank account. They take the money back daily. If you're lower risk, they'll take money out once a week. If you're really lower risk, then they'll even allow you to pay them monthly or pay them bi-weekly, which is not common if you have credit issues. So just know that any of these revenue type lenders you're going to deal with, they're going to always try to hit you with daily withdrawals, but you should always ask them if you can get weekly, because oftentimes it may be available and they might not have offered it to you. $500,000 to $250,000 available for them. Requirements: 500 personal FICO score, 6 months time in business, $15,000 a month in average deposit. So we can see this big fluctuation here with these different programs. Must have at least 10,000 in monthly deposits, okay, a month, or must have, 15,000 in average deposits. And you can go to credibly.com. So with Credibly, what you're finding is that there's a big difference between these cash flow lenders when it comes to credit score, time in business, et cetera. Credibly is really good if you've got the shorter time in business, the 6 month time in business, but you have to have greater revenue for you to qualify. So OnDeck is the biggest cash flow lender out there. And again, the nice thing about what I'm teaching you today is this is not stuff you're going to find on their websites. So they're not going to tell you what their time and business requirements are. They're not going to tell you what the revenue requirements are. The problem with that in many cases is you have to go through an application process to even find out, which is why decoding this becomes so valuable. So with OnDeck, you can apply online, receive a decision pretty quick. Okay, if approved, loan funds are transferred to a selected bank account, as they are for all cash flow financing. Okay, entrepreneurs can get such a loan to build the business credit history. So sometimes they do report the credit to the business credit reporting agencies. 5,000 to 500,000 in funding is available. 500 FICO score minimum, 1 year time in business, 100,000 in gross annual revenue, no bankruptcies in the last 2 years, no unresolved liens and judgments. So a couple things I love about OnDeck. One of the things I love about OnDeck is that they have a credit line on top of the loan. So if you have good credit, if you have better credit, you're willing to supply tax returns, then oftentimes what they'll do is they'll give you this regular advance, this cash advance, this revenue lending loan. Then they'll also give you a small $20,000, $25,000 credit line along with the loan. Now you have to have better credit to get the loan or to get the credit line, but it's nice because you have the ability to get both of those. So OnDeck, another thing I like about OnDeck is experimenting with this artificial intelligence kind of technology. And what this AI technology does is they get your login credentials for your bank account. They go right into your bank account. They pull out your monthly statements so you don't need to supply them. So this is a future of lending as we know it. Less and less and less documentation, because the sources are able to go directly where the documentation is, in this example, your bank, and get it from them directly. So it's faster to get funding. It's easier to get funding. It's less documentation to get funding. Now, I'm not saying that with OnDeck, you don't need to supply bank statements at this point in time. But again, they will give you a route in most cases where you can pull those online so you don't have to physically supply them. Okay, the best online lenders for short-term in business, Lending Express, 5,000 to 500,000. Okay, they're an online connection network of lenders offering unsecured business term loans. So let's talk about this. This is what's changing as well. In the business funding space in 2019, we're seeing more and more of this. We're seeing peer-to-peer lending platforms like Prosper, where they're pooling together all these individual investors into one platform. So even though you're only getting one loan, that one loan can be made up of funds from 5, 10, 15, 20 different investors. So Lending Express is pooling together this network of lenders to offer you these loans. And we're starting to see more of this pooling of funds from different individual sources, different lenders into one place to make it more convenient for you to be able to get money. 3 to 36 month term. Let's talk about this. When you're getting financing, I cannot tell you enough. Stop focusing on interest rate and start focusing on term. Your term has much more control of your payments than your interest rate does. Your interest rate's tax deductible. Your interest rate is based on your risk. Those are things you can control to make your risk lower to get better interest rates. But you really need to be focused on getting the longest term financing you can get, because the longer term is what will get you the lower payments. Rates and fees vary by the lender. 3 months time in business, very short, one of the shortest we've seen so far. 10,000 in monthly revenue, or 6 months time in business and 2,000 in monthly revenue. So a couple different options there. You can go to lending-express.com. Okay, so StreetShares, okay, best online lender for low annual revenue. So StreetShares is a lender offering term loans, lines of credit, specialized veteran business bonds, and small business loans and investing options. Look, StreetShares will lend to anybody, even if you're not a veteran. But if you're a veteran, as I am, you really should look at StreetShares, okay? Because StreetShares really caters to us veterans, and they really are one of the only lenders out there that has programs that are really designed for us. So if you're a veteran, really look at StreetShares. It should be one of the first places that you look. So most recently, they offer contract financing, a non-loan similar to invoice factoring. We just talked about what invoice factoring was earlier. That's when you're using the customer's payments that are paying you on terms as collateral to get financing. Pre-approval takes only a few minutes, doesn't hurt your personal credit, so there's no hard inquiry on your credit report. 2,000 to 100,000 available, and they are doing term loans. So again, with StreetShares, 12 months time in business, 25,000 in annual revenue, so very low revenue requirement. Okay, and sometimes they'll make exceptions for higher earning businesses that are at least 6 months old. 620 FICO, U.S. citizen. You can have a guarantor with reasonable credit to be able to qualify. So again, as we're looking at StreetShares, we're looking at more of these type of peer-to-peer lending platforms where they're pooling money together, making it easier to give us money. Look, I've been in lending a long time. I've been in financial services for going on 19 years. And I can tell you one of the best lessons I've learned that if you're looking for money, you should know is this. Lenders do not like to lend large sums of money. So you have a significantly better chance of getting the money you need by breaking it up and getting it from multiple sources than you ever will with one. Meaning if you're looking for a $50,000 loan, it's easier for you to find 5 lenders that will give you 10 grand than one that gives you 50. This is what I've learned in nearly 19 years of experience. And so these kind of programs work really well because they're pooling together smaller amounts of money from individual investors, putting it in one pool, making it easier for you to qualify for the money because it's not one big institution lending it all to you. LoanBuilder from PayPal, a PayPal service as of November 2017. This used to be Swift Capital. Swift really mastered the art of direct mail and sending direct mail to talk about loans. So for any of you entrepreneurs that now get like 20 pieces of direct mail a day about loans, you can thank Swift Capital. Swift Capital mastered that model. They built an algorithm to help better qualify applicants and determine who was a good fit, who wouldn't. And they got bought by, or that aspect of the business got bought by PayPal, the LoanBuilder aspect, as of November 2017. So they specialize in short-term lending to mid-sized businesses, term loans. Okay, you may be able to get a loan as soon as the next business day, and they customize loans with no origination fee. 5,000 to 500,000, requirements 550 FICO, 42,000 in annual revenue, 9 months time in business. Now, on another note, probably something I won't mention here, and if I will, then I'll skip that when I get to it. PayPal and Square have really good programs as well. So again, it makes a lot of sense. If you're not running some of your money through PayPal or Square, start doing it right away. Start having some of your customers pay through PayPal and Square because it goes from PayPal and Square into your bank account so you can still get all this other revenue lending that's taking place. And PayPal and Square have very easy, very cheap money that you can get only a few months in business. So again, beyond LoanBuilder, consider being with PayPal and consider being with Square. So best online lenders for the most options, Lendio. So Lendio's loan connection service slashes the time it takes for many business owners to find the right loan. Okay, they basically have a network of small business owners, which by the way, we do too, okay? So we can do exactly the same thing here, but again, my job here is to tell you all the ones you should know about. Lendio is a very feasible option to look at on top of what we can do. But what Lendio does is very similar to us. They're gathering a network of lenders, okay, and they offer money as soon as 24 hours through 75 different individual lenders and programs. 500,000 to 5 million. The 5 million sounds high. The reason for the 5 million is that they work with SBA loans. So SBA 7A loans can go up to 5 million with them. Now, you've got to operate a business in the U.S. You have to be a U.S. citizen, valid business bank account, 560 FICO score to get approved. These are really broad requirements because they have like 20 different loan programs you can qualify for. So all their loan programs have different qualifications. But again, what we pride ourselves with at Credit Suite is we pull together over 1,000 lending sources in one platform. So you don't need to know the difference between all these guys. You can go to creditsuite.com/get funding and qualify for all loan programs in one place. Lendio is one of only 2 other companies that does something similar where we're pooling together all sources in one place to be able to give you the most options. We've worked with Lendio as well. So definitely a great source to check out. Okay, another one for most available cash, SmartBiz. Now, SmartBiz, for the small business administration loans, are government-backed business term loans. These are for business owners who've had difficulty qualifying for other types of financing. FBA loans typically take a lot of time and paperwork, but SmartBiz speeds up the process, makes it less painless. 30,000 to 5 mil. You see that 5 mil because we're dealing with SBA loans here. 650 plus FICO, U.S. citizen, 2 years time in business, 50,000 annual revenue. No outstanding tax liens, bankruptcies, judgments. So look, in SmartBiz, SBA loans are SBA loans. The problem with SBA loans is you have a lender that lends you the money. You have SBA that guarantees the money. So you have double qualification requirements. You have to qualify with SBA. You have to qualify with the lender, right? So it's harder to qualify. It takes a lot more time to get the loans done. If you're going to do SBA, SmartBiz is a great way to do SBA. But you don't ever want to even mess with SBA until you have established business credit, good personal credit, good revenue, tax returns that show your revenues increasing year to year, and collateral. If you don't have those things, you're just not going to qualify for SBA loans. But if you do have those things, then this is a great option to check out. Okay, the best online lenders for an early prepayment discount, okay, Fora Financial. So early repayment discounts for qualifying borrowers, what that means, it means you get a discount if you're repaying a loan or paying it off early. No minimum credit score requirements. That's cool. 500 to 500,000. 6 months time in business, 12,000 a month annual revenue, no open BK. So great option there if you're looking to be able to, well, first of all, come in and be able to get approved with as little as 6 months in business. And secondly, if you're looking to be able to get money for the short term and you know you're going to pay it off sooner than the term they're going to give you. Best line online lenders for multiple financing options, LendingTree. LendingTree connects with lenders who offer different types of business loans, okay? The specifics of a loan differ on the loan, lender, and the program. Multiple financing options in one place. You can get business loans, lines of credit, SBA loans, equipment financing, more, okay? And the amount in the offer varies by lender and type of financing that they may come up with. So varies based on lender, the requirements. Many require good personal credit, time in business, or minimum revenue. Remember, as I mentioned, cash flow, credit, collateral, the 3 C's, cash flow, credit, collateral. When you're looking for money, you need to memorize that. Cash flow, credit, or collateral. What is your strength? Do you have collateral? Then rule out all asset-based, collateral-based lenders. Anybody, including myself, that even talks about using an asset like account receivables, collateral, rule it out if you don't have it. Now we're down to cash flow and we're down to credit. Which is your strength? Okay, if it's credit, well, then LendingTree has options that can work. If it's cash flow, then LendingTree has options that will work because they cover 2 of those 3 C's. Okay, they're going to ask you for the financial history, probably including tax returns, etc. Collateral is necessary for some of their loans. So again, LendingTree, the nice thing about all loans in one place, the same as here at Credit Suite, we can help with all 3 of those C's. If your strength is collateral or cash flow or credit, you still have options here with LendingTree. So it gives you a lot of options in one place without checking around in different places. This is an absolute must for every single person here. Fundbox. You want to go to creditsuite.com/fundbox and get this. It's worth applying for immediately. Every single one of our clients, 100%, we promote, we recommend, and we have them go to apply for Fundbox. It's one of the easiest to qualify for lines of credit we've ever seen. The interest rate's below 5%. Okay, we qualify and have a $100,000 credit line with Fundbox we use all the time. I can tell you so many people qualify for Fundbox credit lines even when they don't qualify for loans. So they are using AI, very fast process. They get your bank statements from your bank, so it doesn't need to come from you. So as a result, within 24 hours, They can approve you and you get your credit line to use. Like, it's yours in 24 hours to start using. It's phenomenal. Okay, weekly automatic repayment, so weekly payments, not daily. 100,000 is what the credit line is. Goes up. Actually, I have an extra zero here. About 2,000 to 100,000 are their limits. No revenue, credit score, time and business requirements. I'll tell you what they're primarily looking for is revenue. They used to not even do credit pulls. Now they're starting to do some credit pulls in circumstances. They're looking for revenue. They're looking for consistent revenue. They're looking for good bank account management. Okay. Now you can also qualify for invoice factoring with them. I've already told you what that is. And with that, you don't need to supply your aged invoices. All you need to do is have them plug into your software, your accounting software. If you're going for the revenue, and revenue is your strength, cash flow is your strength, then they're going to plug right into your bank account. So that documentation means that you don't have to supply it, which saves you time. And you need to have an established business with regular monthly revenue. What does that mean? Well, we've seen them approve people with as little time in business as 3 months. We've seen them approve people with as little revenue as $2 to $5 grand a month. So you're not going to get a huge credit line with that. But again, the credit lines are pretty hefty here. So a buddy of mine came to me and said, hey, I want one of those cash flow financing loans. I need fast, easy money. I need 30 grand. I plan on paying it back quick. I said, absolutely not. There's no way you can go into the high priced money. Let's go here. Let's get you this credit line. And he qualified for the 30 grand, used it for what he needed, paid it off, and now he's got a credit line he can reuse. So credit line's much better than loans, and Fundbox, in my opinion, the absolute best in the industry for it comes to easy credit lines. And again, you can go to fundbox.com. We even have something cool for you at creditsuite.com/fundbox that can help you as well. So let's talk a little bit about Lending Club, the best for peer-to-peer lenders. We talked about them earlier. Offers access to a client advisor. Many offer fixed terms or fixed loan terms, 5,000 to 300,000 available. 12 months time in business, 50,000 in annual sales. No bankruptcies, liens. Okay, you got to have at least 20% of ownership of the business. Very common. Anybody that owns more than 20% is typically going to want to personally guarantee the loan. Okay, fair personal credit or better. 18 years or older, U.S. citizen, valid bank account. So peer-to-peer lending, I love it. Talked to you a little bit about this earlier. What we're doing with peer-to-peer lending is we are pooling together individual investors' money to lend to you. And Lending Club is the biggest out there. Prosper was the original, and Lending Club is the biggest. They account for it's ridiculous, like 50% or more of all peer-to-peer lending happens here. Remember, Lending Club is not a lender. What they are is they're a platform. Think about crowdfunding. Like if you go to Indiegogo, Indiegogo doesn't lend money. They're a platform that lets people use their platform to raise crowdfunding. What Lending Club does is exactly the same thing with peer-to-peer lending. They don't lend money. They're pooling together money from individual investors. They're just the platform, the algorithm that makes it all work. Okay, so you go in, you go apply for Lending Club. What Lending Club will actually do is then they take your application and they shop it to their actual investors to raise the capital to get the money from the investors they need to fund that loan. That's why if you go with a company like Lending Club, it can take you like a week or so after they approve you for them to go and pull the money together from the investors and actually lend it to you. That's how these type of peer-to-peer lending actually work. Okay, best online lenders for working capital. Foundation. Provide business loan terms and lines of credit, 20,000 to 500,000. 12 months time in business, 100,000 annual revenue or more, 600 FICO score, must have 3 full-time employees, cannot live or operate business in North Dakota, South Dakota, or Nevada. But again, Foundation works really well if you're just looking for general money and you meet those requirements. That's what working capital really is. So let's go ahead and wrap up. Online lenders offer a bunch of different benefits, right? You got to choose the ones that work best for you. They're mostly, a lot of them are very quick now. You're able to get money pretty fast within 72 hours or more. What slows it down are the lenders. Usually, if you're going to use like your personal credit to qualify, that could take a few weeks to get your money because it's usually credit lines or credit cards that take time to get delivered. Okay, collateral-based financing takes a little bit longer too. Financing based on cash flow is usually pretty quick. Low FICO score, short time in business, low annual revenues. We talked about sources that work for all of those. Remember, if you don't have cash flow, if you don't have credit, if you don't have collateral, you can still build business credit. You can still get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 individual limit credit accounts with revolving credit issuers using business credit. So if you don't have one of those 3 C's or you don't qualify for anything we talked about, don't forget about that option. high amounts on offer, early repayment discounts. We talked about that. Ones that offer multiple financing options, convenient ways to pair, peer-to-peer lending. We talked about all these different options that could work for you. So get access to every legitimate funding program in one place, and you pay us no fees ever. Keep that in mind. Okay, you can use our loan volume to get lower rates. So remember, at Credit Suite, we pull together all lending sources in one. So you don't need to know all these different loans and programs because they're all available in one place. Okay, you're also able to not have to pay us a dime. You never pay us a dime. We actually get paid referral fees from the lender, so you never pay us a dime. So to have our team develop a finance blueprint, find all the money you can qualify for, there's no inquiries on your credit report for us to do that. There's no fees ever. Also keep in mind that we do a ton of loan volume. I mean, millions and millions and millions a month. Okay, so as a result of that, these lenders give us discounts. And what we do is pass those discounts on to you to give you lower rates and fees. We also develop a blueprint for you. We talk about all the money you can get now, then we help you qualify for lines of credit. We help you qualify for term loans. We help you qualify for SBA loans. We call this a graduation process. What we find is that a lot of people don't qualify for SBA loans because nobody's ever told them what it takes to qualify. When we work with our customers, we help you get all the money you have now. Then we tell you exactly what to do to get to the next tier of funding, and then all the way to the SBA loans as well. So you never really need to look for funding again. We have finance officers, we have finance processors. Once our team is involved, they help you get money. You get all money in one place. We get you better rates than you're going to get anywhere else. We help you graduate through loan terms. So our goal is to help you get the money so you can then focus on working and growing your business. So for any questions, reach out to us direct, 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. info@creditsuite.com. Don't forget, in about less than a minute, you can get approved at creditsuite.com/get funding as well. And if you like what you saw, well, then go make sure you like the video and subscribe. And on the top right of our page at creditsuite.com, you'll find our other social channels where we go live on YouTube weekly. We go live on Facebook weekly. We also have daily tips on places like Instagram and Twitter that can help you get money. Remember, our goal is to help you get capital for your business. We do so by helping you become more fundable, by understanding what the banks and credit issuers are looking for. Because if you meet that criteria before you apply, you'll have a better chance of getting approved and doing so for more money. And then we also help you with all aspects of building business credit for your EIN. It's not linked to your social, and all aspects of getting credit lines and loans, since we work with all legitimate funding options in one place. So feel free to give us a ring, 877-600-28487. Visit us online at creditsuite.com or go to creditsuite.com/get funding to be able to get approved for financing now. I hope you enjoyed this training on what you need to know about these online lenders, and hopefully this pulls back the curtain and makes it easier for you to understand the type of lenders that are available to you and the type of money that you're able to get. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.